Imagine it's the middle of the Cold War. The United States and the Soviet Union have thousands of nuclear missiles pointed at each other. Tensions are at an all-time high. Then, one night, a Soviet officer receives an alert. According to the Soviet warning system, the United States has just launched a nuclear attack. He has only minutes to decide what to do. If he's wrong, his country could be destroyed. If he follows protocol, he could trigger World War III. His name was Stanislav Petrov, and many people believe he saved the world. To understand how serious this was, we need to go back to 1983. The Cold War was one of the most dangerous periods in human history. The United States and the Soviet Union were locked in a global rivalry. Both sides possessed enough nuclear weapons to destroy civilization many times over. Earlier that month, tensions had become even worse. The Soviet military had shot down a civilian airliner, killing hundreds of people. Leaders on both sides feared the possibility of war. Many Soviet officials genuinely believed the United States might launch a surprise nuclear attack, and that's when the incident happened.
Petrov's job was simple. If American missiles were detected, he had to report it immediately to his superiors. Every second mattered. Then, just after midnight, the alarms suddenly sounded. The computer system reported that the United States had launched a nuclear missile. Moments later, it reported another, then another. In total, 5 missiles were detected. According to Soviet procedure, Petrov should have immediately reported that the United States was attacking. The Soviet leadership would then have only minutes to decide how to respond. But Petrov noticed something strange. Why would the United States launch only 5 missiles? A real nuclear first strike would likely involve hundreds. Something didn't add up. The warning system was new, and Petrov wasn't completely convinced that it was accurate. Faced with a decision that could affect millions of lives, he chose to trust his judgment rather than the computer. Petrov reported the alert as a false alarm. Then came the waiting. For several long and terrifying minutes, nobody knew whether nuclear missiles were actually heading toward the Soviet Union. If Petrov was wrong, the consequences could be catastrophic. But the missiles never arrived. There were no explosions, no attack. The warning had been false. Investigators later discovered that sunlight reflecting off high-altitude clouds had fooled the Soviet satellite system. The computers had mistaken the reflections for missile launches. A technical error had nearly convinced a nuclear superpower that it was under attack. Stanislav Petrov was never expecting to become a hero. Yet his calm decision on that night helped prevent a potentially disastrous mistake during one of the most dangerous periods in human history. Sometimes, history is changed not by armies or presidents, but by one person making the right decision at the right moment. If you enjoyed this story, subscribe for more forgotten moments from history that changed the world.